Hello, and welcome to another episode of Glorious Life on Wheels. I've promised you for a few days now that I was going to be bringing a video that's going to share what I think is the most dangerous, or at least one of the most dangerous places for solo female nomads on the road or traveling. And I'm going to do that in this video. I'm going to share why I think this is the most dangerous or one of the most dangerous places, and I'm going to share some tips that hopefully will help you to be safer when you go to this place. Now, I know there's going to be those of you who will say, oh, she's fear-mongering, she's fear-mongering. No, I'm not fear-mongering. I'm telling you what I truly believe, as not only have traveled over 120,000 miles in the last 4 or 5 years in a van, but also as having been a peace officer for 20 years. This is serious and you need to listen. So come on, and I'm going to tell you what I think you need to know. Well, here I am at one of the places that I think is the most dangerous for a solo female nomad on the road, especially if you're in an area that you're not familiar with. You're probably saying, Carol, don't be ridiculous. How can a gas station be dangerous? Well, let me go over some of the ways that it is dangerous in my opinion, and it's one of the places that I feel most vulnerable. First of all, where am I? I'm outside of my vehicle. I'm not in the safety of my vehicle. Typically, you have to get out of your car to pump gas. You have to get out. You're not inside your vehicle. Secondly, let me show you something else. You are typically going to have your car parked where it's nearest to the pump. So look how much space there is between where you're standing and your gas tank and the pump. That's not a lot of fighting space. Let's say 2 people come up on you. One comes up here in front, one comes up behind you. You're cornered. You are in a position where you have nowhere to go. And I'm going to tell you what I think is the best way to try and counter that. But you're in a tight space where you can easily be cornered. Also, if you notice where I'm parked, and I parked here intentionally, I'm at the last bank of gas pumps. And look where the cash register and the cashier are. They're way over there in that building, possibly against the wall. So if I'm over here and someone is coming after me and cornering me, trying to force me into my vehicle, no one is going to even know that that's happening. So this is not a good position to be in, especially late at night. It is much wiser to park as close to the entrance to the gas station as you can whenever you're out getting gas. Another thing, how often are we distracted when we're out getting gas or pumping gas? We're not paying attention. We're not looking to see who's around us, who may be watching us, who may be loitering in the area. Typically focused on so many other things than our surroundings. We're coming over, getting the cap off the gas tank. Then we're over here checking out to see what the prices are. We're looking at the hose, getting it out to put it in the tank. We even have things like this where there's TVs and we're watching television. We're doing so many other things. I've even seen some people standing here while their gas is being pumped and they're on their phone. Yep, on their phone. Sorry about all the noise around here, but I'm at a gas station. But yeah, there's so many other distractions. Let me ask you this question. How many of you have left your keys in your car while you're pumping gas, or even when you go up to pay for gas inside at the cash register? Or how many of you, when you're pumping gas, or even if you go inside to pay for the gas, leave your car or your van unlocked? Did you know someone could easily be checking to monitor that? And as soon as you go away from your car or van into the building, they could climb into the back of your van or your car and be on the floor, and you don't know when you take off that you're carrying the person who's going to harm you. You're providing them the transportation. That is a real danger. Or even If while you're pumping the gas, your vehicle is unlocked and your keys are in there, someone or a pair or a team working together could force you into your vehicle because it's unlocked. They have easy access, open it, force you in, they've got the keys, and they can take off with you. These are genuine safety issues that you need to be thinking about. When you're at a gas station, when you get out of your vehicle, you have valuable things on you, and people know that. They know that you either have your credit card, your wallet, some money to pay for gas, and that's why a lot of them stay around and hang around gas stations. How many times have you had someone approach you asking for money, telling you they are out of gas or they're trying to get home or some sad story? But this is not uncommon, and sometimes people use that ploy to allow them to get close to you, to get your defenses down while they're talking, and then before you know it, you're a victim. According to the U.S., let me look at my notes here. According to the U.S. Bureau of Justice, this is from records a few years back, it's probably even worse now, there are approximately 63,500 offenses, crimes, and I'm talking about ones that are violent, that take place at U.S. gas stations every year. That is equal to, according to the article I read, as much as or approximately the same amount combined that takes place at hotel rooms, banks, and public transportation stations, so at subways and those kind of places that are truly considered dangerous. So you really have to be careful. I can't bring this home enough to you. And if you're traveling out of state, you've got out of state plates. So that lets someone know that you're unfamiliar with that area and that you may be an easy mark as a result. Another thing I want to discuss is going inside to use the bathroom. Ladies, have you noticed that oftentimes the ladies' restroom is way in the back around the corner out of sight? And if you got back there and someone's monitoring you, watching you, they know you're going back there to use the bathroom, someone can easily follow you back around the corner and be waiting when you came out, or just go in and lock you in there. So I would encourage you not to go to use restrooms where they're way around the side or outside the building around back. Don't do it. But you know what? Come on, and I'm going to tell you some tips that I think may help you. Tip number 1, do not gas up at night or go to gas stations at night if you can avoid it. It just is not a safe practice. In fact, I would recommend for solo female travelers and nomads, those of you living or traveling in your vehicles, don't go to gas stations at night, particularly alone. But if you just have to, try and go somewhere that's really well lit up. Don't go somewhere that's in an off, around the about place where it's low, dim lights, there's not a lot of people. Try to go to a Love's or a Pilot's or some truck stop, but somewhere where it's well lit, there's a lot of traffic coming in and out, and gas up at one of the gas banks that's closest to the register. I mentioned earlier in this video that I would say something about how to locate your vehicle so you might not be as easily cornered. As I said, I like to park closest to the entrance to the building, but I like to park at the last tank that's on the island that's closest to the building, and I like to park in a position so the back of my vehicle where my gas tank is and where I'm going to put the nozzle to the hose, I like it to be so it's past the tank, so the tank isn't blocking me. So when I'm standing there putting I wish I had shown you this, but when I'm standing there putting the nozzle in my gas tank, all around me, behind me is open. So I can run to the right, I can run to the left. I have exits that I'm not up closed in against the actual gas pump. Another thing I do on the road when I'm traveling is I don't go below a half tank of gas. What this does is permits me, if I'm traveling and I come upon a gas station and it's kind of in a remote spot, there's no one else there. It looks like I'll be out by myself at the tanks, and it's I just don't feel safe about stopping there. With a half tank, I can go to the next gas station, or I can drive to a gas station where I feel safer. So don't drive down to your last, where you're on fumes, and you have to stop somewhere even if you don't feel safe. This should be a given, but it may not be to some people. Don't leave valuables in open sight where people walking by your vehicle can see them, and they may decide to target you for what's in your vehicle. The other thing, and this is going to sound kind of silly, but don't leave girly things out. For instance, a sweater with all kind of little flowers and things, are things that says this vehicle belongs to a woman. So someone passing by and looking in may not have seen you get out, but when they pass by, they'll see that this vehicle belongs to a woman. And another thing that I do when I'm on the road alone, when I get out of my vehicle, I will turn around, and sometimes people can see in the front. So I'll go to the back window and I'll knock, and I'll say something in a loud voice like, "Hey, Mark, are you awake? Do you want me to get you a cup of coffee or a Coke? No? Okay." And then I'll go on. So I say it loud enough so people around, if someone's watching or looking at me, seeing me get out as a single solo female, especially an older one who might look like an easier target or victim, I say something that makes it seem like I have someone else, a male, who's in the back, maybe catching a few Z's or something that they can't see. Another thing is, don't let people get up close to you. If someone starts to approach you, say that may have a sign, asking for money or something, or even if they don't, but you see them going around to other people, don't let that person get within arm's reach of you. If they start to get that close, or back up or go around the other side of the car, make them talk to you from the other side. If they keep coming, get inside your vehicle. Do not let someone get that close to you where they can grab you, or where if they have something in their hand, they can reach out and get you with it. Do not let someone approach you that you don't know at a strange location. And that's whether it's a gas station or anywhere else. This is perhaps the most important tip I'm going to give you. As a retired peace officer, if for some reason someone does get the jump on you and ask you for your keys, your purse, your wallet, whatever, give it to them. Let them have it. You can replace all those things. You can't replace your life. The only time I would tell you to put up a fight is if they're trying to take your vehicle and your child's in it, or if they're trying to force you into the vehicle. Never, never, never let someone, if you can help it, take you away from one spot and transfer you somewhere else. It's not going to end well, and you're probably going to be unalived. So if it's going to happen, make them come for you where you're in the open, there are other people around, and you have a chance on someone perhaps intervening or calling for help rather. Never, never. I know it's frightening if someone's holding something against you or at your chest or something, you know what I mean? But you know what? You're going to perish anyhow. So if that's going to happen, that's the place to take your stand. But don't let them transport you somewhere else. I hope these tips have been helpful. And like I said, make sure when you get out of your car for any reason, you lock the door. Don't leave your keys in there. Even if you're just at the pump and you think I'm just right there at the pump, don't leave your keys there. And do monitor, because sometimes someone could be at the gas station waiting for a potential victim, and when you drive in, they may not try and do anything to you there, but they may follow you. So pay attention to who's behind you, and if that person is following you, be mindful of that also. Again, I hope this has been helpful, and stay tuned, because later in the week I'm going to share something that happened that was very, very frightening. Someone was going to come for my child earlier this week, and I'm going to share with you what I did. But anyhow, may your journeys be filled with joy and blessings, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.